Good evening, guys and girls out there. How you all going? This is Aussie Dunk back at you, just because. Now, I'm videoing this at actually 4:18 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, which means that the two AFC conference wildcard games have now been played and won, but I do not know the results because I've been doing a little bit of cleaning up due to the fact that I've got somebody coming around to check out my unit and make sure that I'm looking after it. So, yeah, I've been busy all day. I haven't had time to watch any football, unfortunately. But luckily for me, the Saints game is tomorrow morning, my time, at 5:30 in the morning, so I'm going to set my alarm for that one. Anyway, in the background there, you'll see a Bennett number 2, and that's a San Diego away Guernsey, and this is one of the very few pieces of memorabilia that I own. Can't remember whether it was 93 or 94. I was buying some Pinnacle product, and they were running a promotion for Australians buying the product for these Bennett Guernseys, because Darren Bennett was a former Australian AFL player who retired in about at the age of about 27 or 28 to go and follow his dreams over there in the US and to become a pro team decade of the player of the decade pro team as a punter, I believe. I can't remember what year that was announced, but yeah, it's all in the history there somewhere. So yeah, I brought all these packets of this thing, not knowing that I was actually really in a draw for anything at all, because I mean sometimes they have these promotions, and because we're in Australia, you think that they're not going to be they're not going to be like a expired redemption. They're not going to look after you. But apparently I won this as one of the prizes in the draw, so yeah, it was real cool. I would have liked to have won the home Guernsey, but I'm not whinging about this at all. Anyway, just quickly, just because, as I said, it's playoff time, Super Bowl time soon, yay! And I'll have my usual Super Bowl weekend off and grab the CCs and the drinks, and me and my brother will sit down and eat chocolates while we watch the Super Bowl, or whatever else we decide to get at the time. It will be real cool. But while we're just here quickly, I just want to go through my tips for Super Bowl. I am actually going to tip, surprise, surprise, NFC New Orleans. Now, I know it's pretty hard to go past them since they're my team, but I think there's a good case for picking New Orleans, even if they're not your team and you're not one of the other teams involved in the competition. So yeah, I'm going to pick New Orleans, and mainly because we have this dude, yay! And this happens to be my best ever card I've ever pulled, particularly even though it's not autographed. It's 3 out of 10, Drew Brees, and I've been trying to get some nice little numbered goodie from him for ages, so there it is. And he's a precision passer, and he'll be causing all sorts of troubles in the playoffs and hopefully the Super Bowl in the days to come. And his teammate in crime, or partner in crime, this dude, Alvin Kamara. Now, this is base Chrome. When I was in the Chrome break just the other day, I mean, about 20 days ago, and my cards just turned up. And if you haven't seen it already, my video's there to watch of me showing what I got in that Chrome break. And Alvin Kamara was just one of the base that they happened to throw in, and I was lucky to get that one when I opened my card. So there you go, Alvin Kamara. Now, the other teams that I would pick if I wasn't New Orleans and I was going for someone else, I think you'd have to go these dudes here. I think you have to go San Fran, ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't not going New Orleans. I think if New Orleans don't make it, I think San Fran's going to be a team that does make it. And just there, I've got a Debo 41 of 49 True Blue rookies, and a Richard Sherman base optic, which was also from my break. So there are a couple of nice cards there to help me get by. And I think San Fran is the team to get if you're not picking New Orleans. And the team most likely the upset out of the other four teams are this dude. He's been having a ripper season, Russell Wilson, and causing all sorts of troubles for a lot of teams. Not sure whether they have it quite right this year, but Seattle are always going to be a little bit of a dangerous game when and if we have to play them before we get through to San Francisco. So, yep, there you go. Russell Wilson and one of his partners in crime was this lovely unparalleled rookie focus DK Metcalf number 200, which was pulled from an unparalleled box that I opened, which was real cool. So I've finally actually opened some boxes and got some decent cards, so that's fine and good as well. Now, the AFC is a totally interesting conference, and you can toss the coin for a lot of teams, but I think, in my mind, it's going to be this dude who heads to the Super Bowl this year, Patty Mahomes, a rookies and stars base number 299, and he'll be taking that with him to the Super Bowl. Trying to pick the teams is difficult, but I just think that all round he may have the best chance of getting through with how all the teams line up against each other. And his main partner in crime, if they are to make it through, is this guy. You already seen this card once in one of my other videos when I did my fantasy football. He's still in his sleeve, so I thought I'd bring him back out again. Mr. Tyreek Hill, he's had a ripper season, and he's got a good chance of doing something dangerous if the defences of the other teams ain't too careful. Now, a lot of people are saying Baltimore now because of Lamar Jackson, and I have to say that AFC guys, I am putting Baltimore as third ranked for AFC. I just don't think that at the moment there he is, everybody's choice of the possible MVP of the year, Lamar Jackson. I just don't think, I'm just watching the last couple of games of the end of the season, week 16 and week 17, teams were starting to get to him. They were putting more pressure on him, and they've really bashed up that Lamar's protection and their front line, and there's a lot of guys there sort of hanging on for dear life from injury and worries and stuff like that, and he's he's good at scrambling, but and good at getting the ball away, but his receivers have been inconsistent at either taking the ball or getting that ball after the throw have come down to him. So, yeah, I'm a bit concerned in that regard that Baltimore, even though Lamar Jackson probably has had an MVP season, these big playoff games, they're going to really find out and test him and give him a lot of trouble. And that's why I put Baltimore at number 3 for the AFC myself, personally. And we'll have to wait and see. I could be totally wrong, but there you go. But if Baltimore are to get through, this gentleman, bugger him, because he was a former Saint, will be their main weapon. And he will have to work out a way to get himself free and to push through because, as I said, the defense issues protecting Lamar is a bit of a issue, and I think teams can actually limit Mark Ingram by constantly more on the blitz more often than not. Yes, they'll start to pick it, but if they constantly blitz, it will stop Mark Ingram from having to have the chance to belt through his big heavy runs because he may be needed in pass protection more and more as the front line gets battered and bruised throughout the playoffs, and Ingram will have to play an important part in protecting Lamar as well as trying to go for those big bruising runs. So, and we'll see how his body holds up as well because he'll be part of that crowd where they'll be belting into him and bashing into him, and he'll have to weather all the stuff that they throw at him. And the third team that I chose, unfortunately, rather obvious, isn't it? Hate him, but he's done real well. Mr. TB12 of New England. I've ranked them second this year because they have been struggling, and for him to get through this year, he's really going to have to work hard with connecting and setting up plays with this guy. And don't get me wrong, those two work well together and they do a lot of good stuff together. And that's why I said, as long as those two are on song, New England are a big danger as always. But this year, they're going to have to work a hell of a lot harder for it than they usually do. So, yeah, I've ranked them at number 2. So my Super Bowl tip for the year is New Orleans versus Kansas City. And guess what? I'm probably wrong, like millions of other people, but that's the way I go. And that is my playoff future tips for the year. And I hope that you all enjoy the playoffs, have a good time, hope your teams do well, and just enjoy the hobby as always. This is Aussie Dunk saying see you later until next time. Have a good day, mates. Catch you later.